What's up, college football fans? I'd like to hear once again with the Mean Green Show today, joined by John Duncan from the Blazer Victory Podcast, and we're going to dive into this UAB UNT Conference USA, whatever week we're in, week 9, 10, 11, I'm not sure what week matchup, and just kind of give our opinions on the matter. But before we get into all that, guys, you already know the drill. If you're a fan of college football, G5 football, any or all of the above, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Well, John, thank you so much for jumping on with me. A and B, where can everybody find what you do as far as you're covering for UAB athletics?
Yeah, so my co-host Darian and I do a UAB podcast following UAB basketball and UAB football. Blazer Victory Podcast. Check us out on Twitter. You can follow us at Blazer Pod, and we should have our North Texas preview up Wednesday morning. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, we'll have our preview up. Um, Certainly wish that we were talking basketball instead of football right now, but hey, it is what it is, I guess.
Jelly Walker season's coming up, but yeah. So anyway, obviously UAB coming into this season is kind of a unique situation, meaning that Coach Bill Clark had to step away for medical reasons, kind of abruptly right before the season, and Coach Vincent, he was the OC, right? That's what he was prior.
Correct.
Okay, so he's taken over, and yeah, I mean, people, their memory's not good. What was it, 18 and or 1920? You guys were the back-to-back CUSA champs, right? Those 2 years.
Well, we won it in 18, and
Okay,
then but we've competed in the championship 18, 19, and then won it in 20. So we won it 18 and 20. Yeah.
okay, and then you were back in it in 21, right?
Well, no,
No,
UTSA.
you
Yeah,
were the West.
UTSA.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes,
Unfortunately,
you were a
yeah,
game
close,
away.
close.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But anyway, moral of the story is, two outright championships, a game away, just always on the doorstep, if not in the game, if not winning the game, and really, in the middle of a CUSA dynasty, and unfortunately, abrupt retirement of Coach Clark. It seems to have, kind of, cause a little bit of a step back momentarily. But how did you guys take that as fans? And, just what's the thought currently under, Coach Vincent?
All right. First part of your question is in regards to Clark retiring. Was that the first
Yes.
part? Okay. Yeah, we were all shocked. I mean, everybody in the athletic facility, everybody was shocked that he decided to step down. Of course, back issues were legit. He had been battling some back issues for a long time and had to have a major operation done, which was successful. So we definitely wish him a speedy recovery. But yeah, man, I mean, you talk about just a month or two before fall camp start, and your head coach steps down, and here handing it off to his offensive coordinator, Bryant Vincent. And I mean, it was hard for Coach Vincent. I mean, here you are, working under Bill Clark, and you've been with him for a long time, going back to 2014, and then coming back in 2018. But being with under Coach Clark, and here he is, abruptly retiring or stepping away, and here you are in charge of a football team and first time head coach at the collegiate level. And as far as the season has gone, obviously UAB is coming into this game against North Texas 4-5. It's been a very frustrating season, and UAB fans are very rightfully frustrated with how things have gone. And I mean, this team is so close to being, I mean, honestly, an undefeated team. Like every loss has been a one score or one possession loss. And then going back to the game this past Saturday against UTSA, going to double overtime against one of the top teams, if not the top team in Conference USA, right along with North Texas. So I mean, it's been frustrating, and this team cannot win on the road. So luckily for UAB fans, this game against North Texas will be in Protective Stadium in Birmingham, which is a place that North Texas has not won before. So that bodes well for UAB and UAB fans, but everything else, man, this play calling has been awful. Pre-snap penalties on offense. I mean, just false start after false start. It's just been ugly, and it's been honestly hard to watch it sometimes. But all that being said, UAB has been in every ball game that they played so far this year. It just seems the ball just hasn't bounced their way a few times. So
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about UTSA, but man, they're battle tested in overtime. It seems like they live there and they do well in it. So yeah, just unfortunate. Would have helped us North Texas fans, had UAB pulled that one off, and just the potential dominoes falling. But anyway, so UAB, I believe, opened up as a 7-point favorite. I think it's moved a little bit. Maybe it's to 6 now. But were you kind of surprised that it's that a touchdown favorite, or do you feel like that's where you it sounds pretty par for the course? Being, I mean, a year ago UAB did beat the brakes off of UNT at North Texas. So, any thoughts on where the line opened up at?
Yeah, when I saw that Vegas opened it up at 7, I was shocked in UAB's favorite. I was thinking maybe it would be closer to a pick 'em or maybe UAB a 1 or 2 point favorite just because of the home field advantage for UAB, where it's been, UAB has done really well at home since the return. But I mean, to see that line open at 7, I mean, I just disrespectful, man. I just my first thought was like, does Vegas know something I don't know?
Right.
Now, in regards to maybe what they're thinking, Dylan Hopkins should be back this Saturday.
That was my
So,
next question.
yeah, Dylan should be back. He was at practice today. We're recording this on Tuesday. So he was back throwing the ball in practice today. So he should be back Saturday for the game against North Texas. Zeno, I mean, he looked he looked like he was gaining his confidence against UTSA last week, but the couple weeks before, just offense just did not do well overall. But yeah, just disrespectful, man. UAB opening up as a 7 point favorite against a really good North Texas team that's coming in to this matchup 5-1 in Conference USA, where UAB's 2-4. Like and you can't really say that North Texas has been awful on the road. I mean, look what they just did a couple weeks ago in Bowling Green against another one of the top teams in Conference USA, just shutting them down. I think 43-13 was the final on that. So, yeah, just disrespectful in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, maybe Vegas, I mean, they make a living on that, so they obviously have a
That's true.
hankering.
Yeah, maybe they know
Yeah.
more than we do.
Yeah, and they are wrong sometimes, but yeah, they obviously are better at what they do than what we guess or estimate. But anyway, okay, so just kind of jumping into the game here real quick, like what are your thoughts? What has to happen for UAB to pull off this win? And assuming Dylan Hopkins does come back, what does that bring to the offensive side?
Oh, it brings so much, man. So Dylan Hopkins, before he got hurt in Bowling Green a few weeks ago against Western Kentucky, my co-host Darian was just saying on our last pod that he was just getting his groove going. Like he was in a rhythm. He was commanding the offense. We liked what we were seeing him after the Middle Tennessee game and Charlotte game. He was playing so well, and to get hurt so early on in that WKU game, I mean, and it's going to be an adjustment because he hadn't played in like 3 weeks. So that first series or two might be a little off if he does start this Saturday, like we all think he will. But it's just so good to have him back and to be one of the leaders on this team. Your starting quarterback, to have him back. But Zeno, and I don't want to take anything away from Zeno. I mean, he had really got going late in that UTSA game in the second half this past Saturday. He was really getting comfortable. He was the wide receivers were doing their thing. Palmer, Shropshire, there were no drop balls this past Saturday, so they were definitely helping him out. What UAB has to do to take care of business against the Mean Green is, number one, they've got to cut these stupid pre-snap penalties out. Like, it is ridiculous when you have almost every drive you have at least one false start, and that is very frustrating. It's almost too, because sometimes the play calls from Coach Bryant Vincent, the interim coach, he's the one that calls the plays for the offense. It's almost like those play calls are coming in so late. Like when you've got 10 seconds left on the play, on the play clock, and you're just now getting the play in. I mean, you're going to get antsy if you're an offensive lineman, or you're going to get antsy if you're a wide receiver jumping off. So they've got to cut that out. On the defensive side of the ball, they really got to try to limit North Texas in that ground game. I don't really know who's going to play this Saturday because I know that running back group is kind of banged up for North Texas right now.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, man, that offensive line has been really good for North Texas, especially these last few weeks, no matter who's running the ball. So UAB is going to have to try to limit them on the ground game and just basically watch for Ani and those deep shots. You know, Ani loves to take those deep shots. Latrell trust him on that. So UAB will have to kind of just play smart, especially the safeties. Don't let anybody get past you, and just play smart to have a chance against this really good North Texas team this Saturday.
Okay, so what do you feel like North Texas has to do in order to pull the upset in Birmingham off?
Well, you're going to have to limit Dwayne McBride. Notice I didn't say stop Dwayne McBride. So far, nobody has stopped Dwayne McBride. But if you can limit him to 125, 140-ish yards, then, you know, really that's UAB's offense right now. Now, hopefully with Dylan Hopkins coming back, maybe they can get that air attack going again like it was before he got hurt. But, yeah, you've got to limit Debo. You've got to force UAB into turnovers. And, you know, that's something that UAB has done on the road. Like they'll, you know, 3-4 turnovers a game on the road, and that's really hurt this offense as well. So if North Texas under Phil Bennett really caught their stride these last 2 weeks, especially on the defensive side of the ball, bending but not breaking. But if they can force some turnovers, then I mean North Texas can possibly pull away with a double-digit win in Birmingham. And like I said earlier, that's something that North Texas has not done. You know, North Texas has only beaten UAB once, and that was back in 2017, I believe. They've never beaten UAB in Birmingham. So, but I think North Texas is playing their best ball as of late. So, hey, it would not surprise me at all to see them come into Birmingham and get the victory this Saturday.
All right. So last thing, if we can get one from you, can we get a score prediction for this game?
Ooh. Can I tease your watchers and just say listen to our podcast, because I'll give an official score prediction. But right now, I mean, I do see North Texas winning this game.
Yeah.
UAB is just, yeah, I'm not going to give the actual score, but yeah, listen to Blazer Victory podcast, and I'll try to go into more detail with me and my co-host. But I do see North Texas winning this Saturday. But hey, UAB's got their back against the wall. This is a team that 4-5 right now. If they drop this game and go to 4-6, and you've got LSU coming up next week, I mean, you're probably not going to go bowling. So this is back against the wall for the UAB Blazers. So they really need this win. North Texas does as well. But if North Texas drops this game but beats Rice the next week, they're still in the championship. Is that correct?
I believe so. I believe yes. I believe so. There might. I guess.
I mean, I know there's some crazy.
Yeah. I think if that
happen.
scenario played out, I think it's like a 90% chance, something like that.
Right.
But,
So
yeah.
I mean, it's just going to come down to who wants it more. And
Mhm.
you know, like I said, UAB's back against the wall. Are we going to miss out on a bowl game for the first time since the return? I mean, that would be pretty bad for this UAB program and where it has been, and where Bill Clark took this program. In North Texas, trying to compete for a Conference USA championship, and was this close to beating UTSA in the Alamo Dome. I mean, they led pretty much
Don't
that
even
whole
go
game. Yeah,
there.
so yeah, I don't want to bring up any more, but I mean, hey,
Yeah.
but it is like, so if North Texas can get that rematch against UTSA, I mean, if you're a Mean Green fan, you've got to feel confident that, hey, I mean, we competed with them for 4 quarters. So
Mhm.
hey, if a couple balls go another way, then we can win. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see which team wants it more this Saturday.
Absolutely. And guys, I'm going to do my best. I always say this just in case I forget, but I'm going to leave the link to the Blazer Victory podcast in the description of this video, so you can go over and check John's official point prediction for this game, as well as listen to all their content. Something that I listen to on a weekly basis. Really, really good, especially during football season. Basketball's coming up too. They do a great job there as well, but I can truly vouch for their football stuff. It is top notch. But anyway, John, thank you so much once again for jumping on, and best of luck to everyone this Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks, man, for having me on.